If I dropped you into a random house right here in Monmouth County and only gave you 60 seconds, could you tell me if it's a solid home or a future money pit? Not as easy as you think. Most buyers start by falling in love with the kitchen. I don't. I start with something way less glamorous, but way more honest. The smell and the amount of water. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through the exact 60-second checklist I use with my buyers so you can spot red flags before you get emotionally attached to a house. Quick note before we dive in, this is for education only. This is not a substitute for a professional home inspection, structural engineer, or licensed contractor. Think of this as your early warning system so you know when to slow down and ask more questions. Let's start off with the basement. Smell test, priority number 1. I always say a house is going to tell on itself. The basement, it usually snitches first. Before you start over the main level, please head towards the basement or lower level. But here's the trick. Pause at the top of the stairs, right at the doorway, and just breathe for a second. Ask yourself, do I smell dampness or that slightly earthy odor? Does it smell like a gym locker or wet cardboard? Is there a dehumidifier or one or two humming away in the corner, especially in cooler months when it really shouldn't be that humid? Even in a beautifully finished basement, smells, they tell you a lot. I've been in so many homes, even right here in Marlboro and Manalapan. They look brand new, recessed lights, luxury flooring, fresh drywall. But the second, and I mean the second you step in, you smell that musty air. That does not automatically mean run, but it does mean ask questions. Was there ever any water in the basement? Ask for any warranties from waterproofing companies. Is there a reason why you have that sump pump? Look closely at the baseboards and the corners and around all the mechanicals. Is there staining, or does it look like there were a lot of past repairs? Little secret, buyers are often so relieved to see a finished basement, they stop asking questions. You want to be the buyer who says, this looks great, but what's the history down here? Water is the enemy. Grading, gutters, drainage. Next, step outside and think rain. Literally, ask yourself, if we get one of those classic New Jersey downpours, where is all of this water going? Start by looking at the yard and really pay attention. Does the ground slope gently away from the house, or does it slope back towards the foundation? This is extremely important. Are there low spots or little dips where water might naturally collect? Look everywhere. Do you see any staining on the foundation walls from water that looks like maybe it was splashing up? Then look at the gutters and the downspouts. People always forget to check this. Are the gutters straight and properly attached, or are they sagging and they appear to be pulling away from the house? Do the downspouts extend away from the home, or do they dump water right at the base of the foundation? Do you see any added extension pipes or splash blocks, maybe indicating they've already had to manage water issues? Again, take your time and pay attention. One pattern I've seen in Monmouth County over and over again, fresh mulch and pretty landscaping piled right up against the foundation. It looks beautiful in photos. It even looks beautiful in person, but sometimes it's hiding a negative slope or a chronic puddle. Mulch itself isn't easy, but if it's brand new and thick and right up against the house, I want you to ask, what does it look like under all of this when it rains? Your quick mental rule here, water away from the house equals good. Water towards the house equals slow down. Let's investigate further. Number 3, roof and exterior scan. Now zoom out and do a 10 to 15 second big picture scan of the outside. Don't overthink it. Just look for things that feel off. Let's start with the roof line. Does it look straight and consistent, or does it sag or wave in spots? Are the shingles all the same age and color? Do they line up, or are you seeing very obvious patchwork? Do you see shingles curling, missing, or looking shiny new in one area, but just a little tired and beat up in another? Then look at the siding, the windows, and the trim. Is there one brand, new window, and 3 older ones, all on the same wall or section of the house? Is the siding new, but the trim around the windows looks rotted and peeling? This is important. Has brick been painted recently, especially right near the ground level? In older houses, New Jersey especially, it's totally normal to have upgrades done over time. That's not a problem. What I look for is pattern. Money obviously spent where buyers can see it, but not necessarily where it matters the most. For example, if you see trendy new siding, but the roof looks like it's literally hanging on by a thread and the trim is rotting, that tells me we dressed this house up beautiful for photos. The boring, expensive stuff might be waiting for you. Number 4, movement clues. Doors, windows, and floors. Once you're inside, I want you to do something that every inspector does that most buyers don't. Play around with the doors and the windows. Pick a couple of interior doors and a couple of windows on different sides of the house. Do they open and close smoothly, or do they stick and kind of scrape where you feel like you have to really tug and pull? Do you see cracks radiating out from the corners of the frames or windows? Do floors feel noticeably sloped or bouncy, like they have a little bit of give in certain areas? Now, homes are not perfect. Even brand new builds have minor settling. A sticky door by itself does not mean disaster. What I want you to notice is clusters of clues, things that just don't seem right. Sticky windows plus cracks above door frames plus sloping floors in one part of the house. That's when my foundation or structural movement radar turns on, and I'm making sure we write the offer with very specific inspection concerns in mind. You don't need to know what is wrong. You just need to know this is not nothing. It could be something, and I really need a professional to explain it better. Number 5, flip and cosmetic upgrade. Now let's talk about flips and these HGTV houses. Everybody loves the shiny kitchen. I do too. But this is where a lot of buyers get burned. When you walk into a house that looks like an Instagram reel with white cabinets and gold hardware, new floors, perfect staging, I want you to slow your brain down and look past the pretty. Ask, is the electrical panel clearly older with old labels or fuses? Is the HVAC system clearly past middle age while everything else looks brand spanking new? Do the floors feel thin or hollow like they were installed over something else? Maybe in a rush? Some specific tells I see. New LVP flooring that stops right short of the door thresholds or floor vents. Basement walls that were clearly just framed and drywalled with no access to even see what's behind them. Bathrooms that look stunning, but old plumbing in the basement that was never ever touched. Now listen, not every flip is bad. Some are done beautifully, but if the unsexy systems don't match the sexy finishes, I treat that house very differently in negotiations and inspections. I tell my buyers, assume we're buying a pretty face with an older body and budget accordingly. Let me give you a quick example of something that I saw right here in Monmouth County. I recently took buyers to a beautiful home in Marlboro. They fell in love with it online. The photos were stunning. White kitchen, finished basement, really gorgeous staging. They were basically ready to write an offer from their couch without even seeing the house. And I said, no way. We walked in, and this is what happened in our first 60 seconds in their dream home. At the basement doorway, we all caught that faint musty smell, and we caught it quickly. In the backyard, the yard clearly sloped towards the back of the house. Not good. The downspouts were dumping water literally right at the foundation. Inside, one whole side of the main level felt slightly sloped when you walked from the kitchen to the dining room. None of those things alone forced them to walk away. But when you put it all together, it absolutely changed how we compared the house. The inspection later confirmed ongoing moisture issues and some structural concerns that would have cost a lot of money to fully address. My buyers personally chose to move on. And the important part is they felt relieved, not blindsided, because they already noticed the red flags before the inspector ever showed up. But yeah, they were disappointed. Before you fall in love mentally, move your furniture in. I want you to ask yourself a few of these gut check questions. If this house had basic finishes and no staging, would you still like it? If it were pouring rain and the power went out, would I feel good about this location, the grading, and all the systems I've seen throughout the house? Am I ignoring red flags because I love the backsplash in the kitchen and the paint colors? The truth is, the most expensive homes are not always the ones with the highest list price. The most expensive homes are the ones with the hidden problems you'll find after closing when every single repair is coming out of your pocket. These are all really important things to consider. If we haven't met yet, my name is Cori. I'm a local real estate agent here with REMAX Central, located in Monmouth County. I have been helping buyers and sellers in Marlboro, Manalapan, Colts Neck, Freehold, and truly all over the state of New Jersey. And I help them all spot red flags in real time so they can move forward with confidence. If you're thinking about buying here and you'd want an experienced local set of eyes on your next home, all my information is down below. I would help you avoid the money pits that sometimes come along when looking for a home. If this video helped you see houses just a little differently, do me a favor, go ahead, tap like, subscribe to the channel, and check back often for more Monmouth County tips about buying and selling, everything that has to do with New Jersey, and I will share with you all the information I've learned over the past 20 years of selling real estate. Thank you so much for joining me this week, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.